All right, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's training. We actually put this training together because we had a ton of people in our private mastermind group say they would love a breakdown of how listing leads and Beacon can work together to help your business. So we actually sent out the email. I think we have over 600 people registered for today's session. It's going to be a fast-paced session. I'm flying solo today. Before we get started, though, let's make sure the audio is working and you can see me, you can hear me. Let me know where you're calling in from right now in the chat. I want to make sure that is good to go before we kick things off for today's session. Hey, Matt from Atlanta, welcome. Miami. What's up, Andrew? Good to see you on the call today. All right. Hey, Tina. Hey, Jake. Okay, cool. Awesome. Looks like we had a full crowd here. Everything sounds good and looks good. All right, so let's get right into it. You know my style. We do these lightning sessions as a way to give you some value, catch you up on what's working right now, and then get you on with your day. So today we're going to break up the session into sort of two buckets. The first bucket is going to be how can you leverage listing leads the right way when it comes to your listing marketing? I believe for a long time that the best way to get more listings is to market the ones you already have. And so we have this guide. I'm going to publish this guide for you at the end of today's session. We'll get everyone a link to this guide. But in this guide, we include all of the different listing attraction campaigns that we have broken down by phase. So what I want you doing before you go on an appointment, what I'd like you doing before the home hits the market, when the home is market, when the home's on the market, open houses, and of course, when you get the home under contract or when you sell the property. Now, the goal of this, if you think about the goal here for a second, the goal is very simple. So I want to put you in a position where every single listing that you get, you can turn that listing into more listings. There is what I would call listing marketing that is designed to appease a seller, and there's listing marketing that's designed to multiply your listings. And what I find is most agents and teams tend to focus primarily on like, let me just post it, syndicate it, share it, get it out there. And they don't think too much or too deeply about how do I get my listing? How do I take this asset I have and turn it into more opportunities that create more listings, help me build my pipeline? In the chat though, for me, let me know, hey, Craig, in the chat, let me know how many active listings do you typically carry right now? Like on average, how many active listings do you have? 3, 5, 10, 20? In the chat, let me know right now, how many active listings are you typically carrying on a given month? Hey, Mary, it's great to see Mary Carmenacker on today's call. I've known Mary for a really long time. She was a big supporter of me early in my career. Love seeing you on today's call, Mary. Yep, 5'10", 3'5". Okay, cool. So we got lots of people who are in the sort of 5 to 10 range with some larger teams who have a little bit more than that right now. Like Cecilia's got 38, which is awesome. Okay, so let's start with basic 101, which is at Listing Leads, we create all of your marketing that you need to basically promote your business. Where do we start? So let me go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to walk you through, I would consider probably 5 or 6 campaigns that I love. So this, by the way, everybody, just so everyone's clear, everyone's going to get access to this doc. I'm going to include it with the recording. So me and the team will pass this along with the recording. So don't worry, we'll get you access to this. But the first thing that I want you doing is before you even have the listing, I want you marketing the fact that you're going on an appointment. This is what we refer to as the pre-appointment or the pre-listing appointment stage. And so this is an example. I click on pre-listing appointment email. This is an example of an email that I would want you sending. Now, let's be clear. Like, I'm going to give you my SOP. So my goal is, Jimmy, I've got 3 listings. How do I take every listing, turn it into 2 or 3 more opportunities? So each and every month. This is the plan. This is the game plan. First one, pre-listing appointment. Hey, I might get fined for sending you this. As a realtor, we're not allowed to publicly promote a listing until 24 hours before it goes live, but this is not a listing, it's an appointment. I'm meeting with a seller today at 3 p.m. who's thinking about selling, and what I can tell you is if they decide to list, this home is going to go viral on Zillow. I'll circle back with an update. Wish me luck. This campaign is so perfect for email marketing, but it's also perfect for social media. So as part of your SOP, if you've got, actually in the chat, let me know, Do you have a listing appointment coming up in the next 7 days? Yes or no in the chat. If you have a listing appointment, prior to going on the listing appointment, I am going to reach out with this email. And then also, I think this is perfect for social. Hey, it's Jimmy. I just want to shoot a quick video. I might even get fined for posting this video online, but I want to tell you that I'm about to go on a listing appointment. Now, if this client of mine or this potential client of mine decides they want to list their home, I can tell you this home's probably going to go viral on Zillow. I mean, this home checks all the boxes. If you want to get more details about this home, when I can officially post it, make sure that you send me a DM right now. Wish me luck. That's it. That's the video. And so, like, the beauty of that, to be clear, the beauty of the pre-appointment marketing strategy is that now when I walk into that listing appointment, I've got people who are DMing me. I've got people who are emailing me. Now I walk in a listing appointment and I'm like, hey, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? One of the telltale signs of a great agent is how they can effectively market your home. In fact, prior to going on this appointment, I actually did a little bit of a pre kind of marketing buzz, and I've already got 7 people who are interested in learning more about your home. Has any other agent done this yet for your home? And it just sort of creates that sort of separation that we need when it comes to winning these competitive listing appointments. So first thing is I want you sending out the pre-appointment email. And if you're comfortable on social media, then I want you doing the pre-appointment social media post as well. Then you go on the listing appointment. You wow the seller because they see that you're serious about getting their house sold. You get the home signed. You get the listing agreement signed. What do you do next? Do you wait until the home's on the market to begin promoting it? No. You execute the post-appointment strategy. So I'll click on this one. This is another example within listing leads. Subject line, I was wrong. So here's the deal. This home looks even better in person. Forget what I said about going viral on Zillow. It might even break the internet. We're targeting to have this home ready by September 15th, which means I can officially share all the details with you on September 14th. Should I text you to ensure you don't miss the update? So follow the logic here. Before I'm going on an appointment, so I asked earlier, how many of you are going on an appointment? Like Kim, Chuck, right? Ron, Lena, Sydney, Mary. Before you go on an appointment, send the email. Go on the appointment. Wow the seller. Get the listing. And then the first thing you do once you get the listing agreement signed is post this on social, or send this email and post on social. Great question from Jason, which is what does viral on Zillow look like with a standard home? Now, Jason, this is part of being great at marketing is finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. So what I'm always looking for something, Jason, like let's say this home is, let's say this home isn't going to go viral on Zillow. Let's say that this is not a $3 million house overlooking the ocean in Maine that has, beautiful water views of the Atlantic. No, this is just let's say it's got some unique characteristics, but it's not going to get tens of thousands of views and saves. Well, what I look for is what's new, what's different, what's interesting. So as an example, I might say, hey, I'm about to go on a listing appointment. This home has actually never been, it was built in 1979 or 1987. It has never been on the market. It's never been listed. That's something so I'm looking at is there a specific feature that's going to stand out? Is it the first time it's ever been listed? Is it the first time it's ever been listed in 15 plus years? Has a family owned the house there this entire time? Has the home had any notable upgrades since it was originally listed? I'm just trying to find anything I can kind of get my hands on that's different about this home, that's unique, that I can leverage. But regardless of what that is, I'm going to really double down on that. Now, another example might be, Jason, you might say hey, homes like this are selling 33% faster than the average listing in the market. So if there's nothing unique about the home, is there anything unique about the category? You with me on this? I'm looking for new, interesting, and different, and I'm going to use that as the through line for my marketing campaign. And actually, in the chat, let me know. And by the way, hopefully, Gus, hopefully I answered your question too around like new, interesting, and different. That's gonna hopefully kind of give you some inspiration. Doesn't have to be viral per se. That's just a hook. In the chat, let me know. Have you ever done or is it part of your SOP? I should ask. Do you do a pre-appointment and post-appointment marketing campaign? Yes or no in the chat. Do you do a pre-appointment and post-appointment marketing campaign? No judgment here. You can just see how many no's there are right now. No, 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 no. Huge opportunity. Huge opportunity. Okay, so coming back to the ultimate listing promotion, a couple things here. The next marketable moment is the next marketable moment. And by the way, if you've got a question, drop it in the questions chat for me, because at the end of today's session, I'll go through and answer every question that we can before we run out of time here today. So drop it in the questions chat, not just the chat, because the chat's going to be blowing up for us. All right, so next one coming soon. If the first time a seller or the first time buyers are hearing about your listing is when it's on Zillow, you're doing it wrong. There's a great line from P.T. Barnum, which is, nothing draws a crowd quite like a crowd. So that 24-hour or 72-hour window you have to promote the home is a massive, massive opportunity. And so what I want you to do here is I'll share my screen again so you can see this, is I want you executing one of these 5 campaigns. And let me give you an example. First one, the 24-hour email, which is, and I'll actually come back to that one real quick. Let's see if I can grab this one for you. Cool. We'll do the forward to friend to start. This is a campaign that I would use or I would leverage. And the subject line, you can play around with this. I'll pull up an example. The subject line on this one would be forward to a friend, not I was wrong. So just a quick clarification there. Subject line, forward to a friend. In the next 24 hours, our newest listing is going to be blasted all across the internet. That means right now, in this moment, you have something only a select few people have. Early access to an extraordinary property. It's the type of house that makes all the other houses talk behind its back because they're jealous of how much attention it's going to get. And now listen, that line, you can play around with that. You don't have to use that line every time. You can, again, focus on that new, interesting, different angle. I know this might be the wrong time for you to make a move, but I wanted to make sure you knew about it because you likely have a friend or family member who's looking for this exact home. Here's my cell. They can call me directly. P.S. If I don't pick up, leave a voicemail. So what I'm doing here is I am promoting this listing to my database to get my database to promote my listing to their database. You with me on this? I'm sending the email out to my database to then create more opportunities beyond the people who are already connected with. This is like the infinite referral strategy. And so my advice would be, this is like a perfect campaign for your SOI. People already know you. It's a great campaign for people who are like maybe just your warmer prospects who are maybe are in the market that maybe haven't made a decision yet. But this is what we refer to as the forward to a friend campaign. So I want you doing the pre-appointment, the post-appointment, and then prior to the home hitting the market, I want you sharing the forward to a friend strategy. Now, building on that, I'll give you just one more variation of this. This is a skip the wait list. So, hey, subject line, skip the wait list. Already you got my attention. I really shouldn't share this new listing with you because if you love your current home, this one could be the one to make you move. Here's a feature, here's a feature, here's a feature. And by the way, it's hitting the market on Monday. I talked to a lot of buyers in this area who I can tell you many of them are looking for a home just like this one. If you want to skip the wait list, text me. Here's my phone number. I'll share all the details with you. So you could take this script we have here, the skip the wait list script. You could take this script, take your listing, throw it into ChatGPT, and create kind of like your own personalized version of that. The most important thing when it comes to this early stage of promoting your home is I'm trying to build that momentum, build that buzz. I'm trying to create as much demand for that home before it hits the market. Because once it hits the market, it's like a movie that's been released. You know, before a movie's been released, there's a lot of excitement and buzz. Once a movie's been released, what do? We go to IMDb to see the rating. We go to Rotten Tomatoes to see the Rotten Tomatoes score. Like the kind of cat's a little bit out of the bag once the home's already in the market in public. So I want you thinking of this, like let's just visualize this for a second. I want you thinking of this kind of like a barbell where you have a lot of marketing at the very beginning, and then you have kind of less throughout the process, and then you have a lot of marketing at the end. That visual is how I want you thinking about marketing. It's not like every week you're doing all these campaigns every time for every listing. You front load it, and then at the end of it, you back load it. You have to have on both sides here. All right, so building on that idea, let's get into number 3 on the list, which is the just listed. Now I personally love using direct mail as a strategy. And what I would do in this case is I would do the just listed sales letter. And I'll pull this up so you can see this. What I'm actually doing with this campaign is, so once I've done the pre-marketing, the coming soon marketing, and I've done some maybe social media posts, like a video, a YouTube video, an Instagram reel, I've sent a few emails out, I'm actually going to mail, follow my logic here, I'm going to mail a letter like the one that you see here. I'm going to mail this letter to the 100 to 200 homes that are around my listing. And what's so critically important about this is that we're doing marketing to get more listings. We're not just doing marketing to promote our listing. And so what we're doing right now is we're letting all the neighbors know that we just listed their neighbor's house. We're telling them the full story behind it. And then we're have a very simple, easy call to action. And the nice thing about this campaign is that if you send this campaign out when you list a house, after maybe the first 3 or 5 days when the house is on the market, you sort of build some brand awareness about your listing and about the things that you do as an agent, so that when you go to send the just sold letter, they have already heard from you at least once, if not twice. And the reason this matters, because in marketing, there's a concept which is familiarity breeds trust. So therefore, if I can just get in front of those neighbors maybe 2 or 3 times versus just one time, it dramatically increases the likelihood of that creating an opportunity, which can lead to an appointment. And by the way, in the chat, let me know how many of the people that you have worked with, how many sellers do you think like deeply care on whether or not you have like local expertise? Is that like, let me know in the chat, is that important for your sellers? They want to know that you have not just like overall market awareness, but they have hyper local, like you got experience selling a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 6,000 square foot house listed over $2 million. Like, what's your track record here? So like you can just see everyone saying important. Yes, of course it is. Absolutely. What a campaign like this does, it demonstrates the fact that you have a lot of experience working with homes just like theirs. And by the way, that's particularly true if you're marketing to a cold audience. You got to convince me that you know this market, because I'm not going to be in a position where I'm going to be like, just because you sold a bunch of houses doesn't tell me that you know how to sell my house, which is why I'm a huge fan of the just sold letter. We got a quick question in the chat from, I think it was Ron. Isn't this a lot of emails to your database? Such a great question, Ron. Let me give you a quick pro tip here. Let me give you a very, guys, I would write this down. This is a surefire way to make sure you don't overwhelm your database with too many emails. The first email, the pre-appointment email, I'm going to send to like everybody in my database. The post-appointment email, I'm sending to anybody who opened up the previous email. The coming soon email, I'm sending to anybody who's opened up the last 2 emails. In this case, when we get to just listed and just sold, we'll talk more about that. And the just sold email and letter, I'm saying to anyone who's opened up any of the previous emails. So I'm actually segmenting my database based on anyone who's opened up any of those emails. So if they open up the first email, that becomes now my email list for that particular listing. That's it. That way, you know for sure that you're not going to overwhelm your database. And so that you might send to 1,000 people for the first email. By the time you get them maybe to the fourth or fifth email, maybe it's like only a few hundred people. I guarantee you your open rate will be north of 60, 70% because they've shown intent on that listing. So great question, Ron. All right, so building on that idea, what else do we have? I don't actually have time to cover all these examples, but in listing leads, I'll grab this real quick. In listing leads, we have a database. And I hope you guys have seen this. I mean, this thing is just probably one of my favorite features in listing leads. We have a database of both the viral leaderboard, which is all the best campaigns. We cover this in the campaign kickoff call. But then we also have the best Instagram reels and the best YouTube videos. We have collected thousands of really, inspiring viral videos created by real estate agents that it's available in the product. You can go through and look at all of these, check them out. They're great for inspiration. We actually I'll have a list here. The team put together a list of this is over 10 of the most viral listing-centric videos on Instagram. So my advice would be, in the doc, my advice would be, in addition to doing the pre-listing appointment, the post-listing appointment, the coming soon, right? The just listed sales letter, you have a ton of inspiration here on what you can do on social media. Okay. Now let's end with this. We have a few more campaigns. You guys will see this in the chat, like a few more campaigns for open house. Let's end with just sold. And I got to know this right now because this will be helpful context. How many of you right now send out a just sold sales letter? After you sell the house, are you sending out a just sold sales letter? Let me know in the chat. Okay, no. Maybe not as consistent as you want, yet stop doing it. Nope. Some are doing a postcard, not always. Okay, a few yeses, which is great. A few postcards. Okay. So let me give you some pro tips here. I want to ban you from sending out the traditional just sold postcard. So first off, the first thing is I want to convince everyone on today's call that this needs to become a standard operating procedure, SOP for your business. We got to get you in a position where you're doing this. This is an absolute must. However, I don't want you just to send out a traditional just sold postcard. Because a just sold postcard, although it sometimes can work, because if you do enough of these things, it can actually translate into getting results. There's a missed opportunity. And the missed opportunity is that we got to realize why someone's actually hiring us to sell their house and what our unique value proposition is. In many cases, the market is going to dictate what the price is going to be. The market sets the price or the floor, and then your marketing sets the ceiling. So when you do a just sold postcard, where it's like, and I'll give you an example of this so you can see this. When you do a just sold postcard, where it's like, in this case here, like a traditional one, the problem is that you don't get a chance to show what makes you actually different. This is an example of my friend Vanessa Riley. Dear neighbor, guess who helped sell 3852 Foxford Drive? Say goodbye to their home. That's right. It's me, Vanessa Riley. Here's the scoop you won't find online. The owner started preparing the home for sale almost 2 years in advance. We've been talking with them. We've been consulting with them, and where to save money. And here's all the details. And then we put together this amazing marketing plan. Here's the results we got for the marketing plan. Here's all the things we did. And oh, by the way, we had 97 people go through the open house. We did 24 tours, and we got not one, but 2 offers. We actually sold it above the ask price at $705,000. If you're wondering how much your home's going to sell for, shoot me an email. Okay. So Vanessa Riley has made over $250,000 last year in commission by sending letters like this. This is not my partner in crime, Tom Ferry, and I completely agree on this, Ken. This is not a just sold postcard, which is just sold above the ask price. Call me if you want more details. This is what we refer to as show the sweat. This is where we are like highlighting to the customer. This is exactly what we did to sell the house. And the analogy I can give you is that if you are a travel agent who is selling, all inclusive packages to Disney World for your family, you would not, if I was selling that to you, you would not spend any of your time talking about what the in-flight entertainment looked like on Southwest Airlines, or the fact that there was, ample leg room compared to other airlines, or that it had the quickest, loading time because they have their crazy get in line system. If I was selling a full of all-inclusive trip to Disney World, I would spend all the time talking about the beautiful hotels, the all-access passes that you're going to get to, go to the parks early by an hour and then leave an hour late. I would talk about the fact that all the meals are going to be included, and here's all the different places you can go, and some of these actually have characters where your kids are going to actually be able to meet Donald Duck and Goofy and Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. You would sell the value, not, in this case, the thing needed to experience the value. And when it comes to marketing for listings, we oftentimes are selling the actual end result as the main thing. Like, oh, we sold it in 14 days. That's actually not really your value. That's the outcome you achieved because of your value. Your value is what you did to create that outcome. So go back to 2021 when every agent was selling a house in less than 7 days and above ask price. Like, did that actually make the consumer feel like there was any differentiation at all between us? And so that's why when we go back to the just sold letter here, I'll pull back up so you can see this. This is all about demonstrating your value. Your value is what you do to achieve the outcome, not just the outcome. Of course, the outcome matters, but how did you create this outcome for the consumer? So coming back to the plan here, we've gotten the doc right now, pre-listing appointment, post-listing appointment, coming soon, just listed, social media, open house, just sold. This has got to be your SOP for every listing you take on board. If you do this, if you follow this plan, you are now going to create a clear and simple pathway to take every listing you have and turn it into 2 or 3 additional opportunities. So for those of you who are selling like 15 houses a year, you're like, Jimmy, I gotta break through. How do I get to 30? How do I get to 40 houses a year? It ain't about new lead sources. It isn't about buying Google leads, Facebook leads. It isn't about subscribing to Zillow. It's about taking the listings you already have now, marketing the heck out of them, leveraging the tactics at listing leads. And that is what's going to create the catalyst to get you more appointments. And then it's rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. And listen, are you going to do this for every single listing? The answer is I'd like you to do it for at least like 70% of your listings. Sometimes maybe it's not a listing you want any more of. Might be in the wrong area, wrong price point. I get that. But you should be marketing your listings at least like 70%. Now, my pro tip here for you is this: is how much do you invest in your listing marketing? Very simple formula. Take your commission, what your projected commission is going to be for that house, times that by 10%, Figure out what that number is, and that is your budget. That's it. So how many people should I mail to? Well, what is your total investment you have available to you? And then spread it out across that. So you might have to invest in some ads to promote your home on social media. You might have to send the just listed postcard. It's like 10% of your future commission reinvested during the listing life cycle is what's going to create that kind of consistency. It's going to also make sure that you have the appropriate amount of resources dedicated to making this happen. Like you can't it sometimes it costs a little money to grow. And the big mistake I see people doing is they wait until they sell the house and then they take a little bit of the commission to try to reinvest it, buying some leads. I want you to do the exact opposite of that. All right. So we had a question from Michelle. If you work with mostly buyers, examples of what to say from some of these letters. Okay. Michelle, I did a video on this Instagram. Magic buyer letter all day long. Magic buyer letter is the #1 strategy I coach to get more listings, leveraging your buyers. Check out my most recent Instagram post. We have a bunch of listing leads as well. All right, so let's move on here. Great point by Greg. What's up, Greg? So we got to talk about Beacon. Yeah, by the way, how many of you have used Magic buyer letters? Todd, yep. So question for you. Hey, Nicole, good to see you, Nicole. Let me set the stage here because we're going to transition to talk about Beacon, because Beacon is the latest tool that we just released. It's basically gone viral. I mean, the success of the product has been so exciting to see. Just the love and the feedback and the amazing ideas that our early customers have had. It's been awesome. So real quickly, in your market, I'm gonna set this up. In your market, is the days on market, are they going up or are they going down right now? If we look at the last 3 months, last 6 months, are they going up or are they going down? Let me know in the chat. Okay, can everyone see that in the chat right now? Up, 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 up. Okay. I don't know if we got anybody who said down. Yeah, Mary. So Mary, some parts of the market may be seeing a little bit of like homes accelerating through the process. Yep. Okay. And so what's important here, I was actually just texting or DMing with my friend Shannon Gillette. And I think what I'm observing right now is that we're re-entering a world where we're seeing the average days on market go up quite significantly. Where we're going from a home taking 14 days to sell to now a home taking 45 or 60 days to sell. Now, the fact is right now is that we're in a position where in most markets where average homes are taking 45 days to sell, what's happening is you're having like 10 to 15 critical conversations with the seller. Meaning that after the first weekend, when there's no offers on the home, and let's say like you've done a lot of your marketing, the question is like, what are you doing right now to sell my property? And there's a reason why we're seeing the average number of listings canceled or be withdrawn reaching all-time highs. I think the last time I checked the data on this, we're at right around 1 every 4 homes is getting withdrawn from the market. And so I would like to know in the chat, because I'll do a full walkthrough of Beacon. By the way, I can see we got some Beacon users in the chat. So in the chat, let me know, are you currently using Beacon? Yes or no in the chat. So I want to make sure that we got people on the wall. Yes, Andrew, awesome. No, not yet. Yes, just started. Greg's loving it, absolutely. Yeah, if you're using it right now, definitely provide some feedback in the chat for the team here, for everyone who's on today's session. Thank you, Nicole, referring all my friends. Yeah, Gus is saying some areas are actually taking up to like half of them are getting canceled. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. Yeah, just started using Beacon. Yeah, Lori's great. Thank you so much. So first off, I'm going to do a walkthrough of Beacon. And what's cool about today's session is I'm going to talk about what we have today and how to use it. And then I'll talk about what's coming next. Because like, trust me, we are full on making this product better and better and better. So let me go and share my screen. If you're not using Beacon right now, go to buildyourbeacon.com. Go to buildyourbeacon.com. And when you're on Build Your Beacon, you're going to have an option to build your first beacon. So if you click on that, you can subscribe for a free trial. You can get logged into your account, because I want to make sure I'll walk everyone through this literally live on the call. And once you've done that, by the way, for those of you on the call who don't have Beacon yet, once you've subscribed, right, let me know, like say, hey, Jimmy, I'm in, because I'm going to walk you through the product. So once you've hit build your first beacon, you subscribe, just let me know that you're in. I'll drop in the link, by the way. It's just, the domain is buildyourbeacon.com. And for all my clients who are using Beacon right now, I want you to stick around for this last part, because I'm going to talk about what's coming next. We have a bunch of updates that I can share with you today. By the way, we're getting attacked by the AI bots right now. So it's just posting to everyone here. So hang with us here as we do this. Okay. All right. So once you're in, click on that domain, buildyourbeacon.com. I'm going to walk you through what Beacon is and then how it works with the campaigns we just created. Awesome. So first step is I'm going to log into my friend Allison's account here, just to give you some perspective on this. So within Beacon, you're going to have, and Nicole, I might share your account because I know you've been building this every week. Actually, let me do that. Nicole, if you're cool with that, I'll pull up your account because I know you've been creating a lot of beacons. Bear with me 1 second. I'll get logged into Nicole's account. Okay, perfect. Okay, so once you're in your account, you're going to see, like, you're in your beacon. The very first thing you're going to see, you're not going to see any of your beacons quite yet. But as you can see here with Nicole, she's got a few of her homes that are pending. She's got a few homes that she's currently listed. She's got one's got a price change. A beacon is a AI seller report that highlights and showcases every single thing you're doing to sell the house that you can share with your seller. But most importantly, it acts as this proof of record for you. It acts as this portfolio of all the things that you're doing, to sell your house, sell your client's house. And the beauty is, for those of you who are selling 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 listings, you now have a central hub where you can log in and you could look at any listing, any campaign, any activity you've done for any one of your listings. Prior to Beacon, what we found people doing is we found a lot of our clients, they were using like Canva or High Note or like List Track, and they were like going to ChatGPT to organize all of this. They were like going to social media, copy and paste campaigns, and try to put together an email for the customer. And really, it was taking them anywhere between 40 to 60 minutes per listing per week. And that was a major problem, a major time suck. So Beacon solves that problem. And actually, in the chat, let me know, for everyone who's using Beacon right now, how long does it take you to create a beacon for your listings? Let us know. How long does it take you to create a beacon for your listings? Right? Natalie's saying like seconds. Andrew's saying under 10 minutes. Like, let us know how long it's taking you. So this is how it's going to work. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on Create Beacon. You can type in an address, or you can use a Zillow link, whatever is easier for you. So I type in an address, or I use a Zillow link. Once I've done that, I now have created a beacon. And it's going to look like this. And I'll pull up a real example for Nicole so we can just have an example here. And on the left-hand side, everything that you are going to basically do to manage your beacon, social media, open houses, comps, tasks, your summaries, how the report looks, is all managed in one place. So we've seen versions of like seller reports where it's just marketing, and that does not tell the full story for your sellers. So I'll walk through, like, this is a report that Nicole has done. It's a beautifully designed report. And Nicole can let us know, if she's still on the call right now, how long it actually takes her to create these reports. But you'll see here, here's the home, 630 Oakville. It's got an executive summary. Hey, this listing has generated strong digital activity. It's got views. Oh, by the way, it's gone viral on social media. And here's an update on what's happening in the market. And then she's got this performance, which is her Instagram, her Redfin, her Zillow, her YouTube. And then below that, she's got examples of all of the marketing she's been doing to sell the home. Then she's got a section for showings. And then below that, she's got a section for the local market analysis, which again highlights not just the homes that are currently on the market, but homes that have had price changes, homes that have sold as well. And then finally, she's got her listing activities, which is all the work she's done to get the house sold. And so actually, Andrew mentioned this before. Shout out to Andrew in the chat. He adds everything to Beacon. That's exactly the right strategy. So when you do all the marketing that I just coached you on for listing leads, you are going to have, when I click on social media, you're going to have access to your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, your TikTok channels, where you can just simply click on one of the campaigns and add it to your Beacon. When you add it to your Beacon, it's going to now show up on your report. It's going to show up in your executive summary. It's going to show up as part of the sort of full portfolio of everything you're doing to sell this house. Below showings, social media, you have showings and open houses. This is where our clients are logging open houses. This is where they're logging broker tours. This is where they're logging private showings. You just add a showing, boom, you're done. Then one of my favorite features is you have comps. So within the listing, we can actually pull down the most relevant comps for your home. Catherine Hamilton on a call before had a great line. She goes, before a home is listed, you have comps. When a home is listed, you have competitors. So within Beacon, you've got your social media marketing activity, you've got your open houses, you've got your comps. And then finally, you have tasks. This is where you're logging all of the things that you're doing to get the home sold. So what's cool about this, and what I think is so powerful about this, you know that just sold letter that we had earlier with Vanessa Riley? Does everyone remember that? The just sold sales letter that we just covered like 20 minutes ago? Well, now creating that letter becomes so insanely easy because you can go and look at everything you've done to sell that house, and those become all the talking points that you're going to leverage both with your email, with your social media video, and of course, with your sales letter. And so this is Beacon. The more that you do marketing, the more work you put into your listing, the more important it is for you to highlight and showcase everything it is you're doing to get the house sold. And so what's really powerful about this, we actually a question from Gus. Are they a complete task as you do them, or are we physically entering them in? So Gus, if you go into tasks, I'll give an example of this. Click on add a task. We actually have a bunch of presets for you that you can just simply select from a dropdown. We have like 300 of them across your listing. So chances are this is just a click and you're done, and you can just add it. But you do have the ability to add it manually if you want as well. So you either select from one of the lists that we have, or you just add it. You can add it manually. Yeah, awesome. So coming back to Beacon for a second. Once you've created your Beacon, this is for all my clients who are using Beacon right now. I want to show a couple features that we just released. The first is if I want to update the Beacon, let's say I've added a bunch of social media, I've added some tasks, I've added some comps. We now have this refresh Beacon button, and you can actually, so Nicole, when you go to update this, Andrew, by the way, you're going to love this feature. When you go to update it, you can just refresh everything in your Beacon with one click. Your online metrics, your social media metrics, your comps, your AI summaries, click it, refresh, boom. So it'll take you like 10 minutes to build your first one. And then every week when you're sending this report to your customer, it's going to take you less than like 1 minute to update that. You might add a few more tasks you've completed. You might add a few more social media posts, but you can just click refresh and the entire Beacon gets updated. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys saw this. We literally just rolled this out like yesterday. It's now live for all of our customers, because before you had to do it in like 6 different places. It was very confusing. And then finally, now that we have the Beacon, it's built out and we're ready to share this report. When I click on share, we're going to use AI to analyze By the way, people love this feature. How many of you currently are using ChatGPT, by the way, to like write these messages to your customers? Like in the chat, let me know how many of you are currently using ChatGPT. I mean, like I think everyone is. So what's happening right now is we're going to take everything that's been happening with your listing. We're going to analyze it. We're going to analyze it. We are going to then use the more recent data, more recent activity to update the message that we create. So now this is Nicole is ready to share this. This is a high level overview she can just copy and paste and send to her customer, whether through Gmail or through Outlook. And so this is a new message every week, which is actually a really important part of the process, because what I've seen to be the case with Beacon or with prior to Beacon is I saw like if you rely on some of these like automated reports, like a list track type of thing, it's like, or even Compass has it. It's like the same message, the same report every week. Hey, here's your new listing. Hey, here's your new listing. Hey, here's your new or here's an update. Here's an update. Here's an update. It's so it's so generic, and the consumer knows you're not really putting a lot of effort into it. So the beauty of these messages is that you get the best of both worlds. Number one, you get automation. You don't have to do this yourself. And number two, you get a message that's timely and relevant and keeps the seller informed of what's happening. Now, Chris and I did this awesome training on Beacon recently where we covered 5 or 6 different ways you can use a Beacon post sale. But my advice is this: if you're currently in a market where your average days on market is going up, and you're spending 20, 30, 40 minutes sending these reports each week, and maybe you have lost a few listings recently, like let me know in the chat if that's true. Like maybe you've lost a few listings recently. Beacon is the answer to that. It represents the first kind of AI tool that I've seen in our industry that's really specific for solving this problem, which is we want to put you in the best position possible to make sure your sellers are informed and up to date. And we want to make you look good. We want to instill confidence in them. And then finally, we want to have this portfolio of all of your work. We had a question: does Beacon have a tutorial? Yes, it does. We have training videos available as well. So 2 updates for all my Beacon users right now. 2 updates. So first update is we are rolling out. Actually, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me cover this first. We have a really powerful feature we're rolling out that I want to share with everyone, give everyone some perspective on this, because I think this is going to be, it's probably one of the most powerful features to make this process even 10 times easier than it already is. I'll cover that in 1 second. Before we do though, I want to talk about pricing for a second, because with Beacon, if you go to Beacon's website right now, you'll see that it's $99 a month. It includes 3 listings. When we rolled this out October 1st, we developed a new pricing model for Beacon, which was effectively saying, hey, like if you got 3 beacons or 3 active listings, here's how it's going to be. And as you add more listings, the price goes up and up and up and up and up, but the price per beacon goes down. What we learned, and by the way, there's no company like ours, so we had really no idea how to properly price this product. But what we learned talking with our teams, talking with our power users, is they want more predictability with their pricing. They want to have kind of a clear idea that, hey, my monthly bill is going to be, $150. It's not going to go up or down or change all the time because it's hard for me to budget for that. So that was a lot of feedback that we got on pricing. The second thing that we wanted to learn is because we leverage AI so heavily with Beacon, we had no idea what the AI cost was going to be. We just didn't. We didn't know it was going to be $15,000, $20,000, $100,000 a month, because we're using it to help analyze comps. We're using it to create messaging. We're using it to analyze social media. So we just had to price the product just to make sure that effectively we didn't basically bankrupt the company in the first few months. The good news is that the cost to support beacons is lower than we initially forecasted and expected. What does that mean? It means that if we don't adjust the price down, we'll make more money. But my feelings toward this is that we wanted to put together a really compelling offering because we think every listing deserves a beacon. So what we're going to be updating next week is we're going to just move to a very simple tiered based model. And the thing that I'm seeing right now, and I'll give you an example of this, and we'll publish this, is that right now, I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick so you can see this. Right now, if you go to our website and you try a 14-day free trial, if you had, let's say, 14 beacons as an example, well, that's $353 per month. Okay. If you have 14 listings you're managing, it's $353 per month. That's the price on that. That was our original price. Well, with our new pricing model, if you've got 14 listings, you're going to be paying a fixed price of $199. Okay. So if you're anywhere between 10 and 15 listings, you're paying a fixed price of $199. So it's actually going to end up being about 35% less expensive. If you're part of the very first tier, if you have like on average 4 listings, well, with Beacon, that would normally be $128. We are actually going to make that a flat $99 a month. If you have like less than 4 listings, it's going to be $99 a month. So we're effectively going to do 2 things with our pricing. And let me know if you guys appreciate this with the pricing. We are going to effectively drop the price down by about 30%, 30 to 35%, and it will be fixed. It will not fluctuate. Now that we kind of understand what's happening with our pricing model, again, brand new company, so hopefully you guys can give us a little bit of grace here. The good news is that we're going to give you a fixed price, and the better news is that price is going to be based off of kind of how many active listings you have. We're going to average it out, and it's going to end up being about 30 to 40% lower than your current bill would be. So it's going to be quite a significant cost savings. Candace saying, does unused beacons carry over from next month? So we're doing active listings, not beacons. So how many active listings you have, not beacons? So you can create as many beacons or update your beacon as many times for your listings. Because we're assuming that if you have a listing, you're going to have a beacon with that listing. Great question. So coming back to the next feature here for a second. So by the way, if you're part of Beacon right now, just be on the lookout for an email. The short version is we're updating our pricing. We're going to make it a lot easier, a lot simpler to understand, a lot more predictable. And also your bill is going to go down. If you're just signing up today, don't worry, you get a 14-day free trial. We'll make sure we include details on the pricing as well, but it's going to be a lot lower than what's currently advertised on the website. So last thing for you today. Today, we've been working on this feature behind the scenes, and we're getting close to getting it released, which is we're going to release a feature called Beacon Inbox. And the way that's going to work is we're going to give you a dedicated email. Let's just say it's Sheila at buildyourbeacon.com. Well, now Sheila can go into her email inbox and she can identify any type of data that she gets about her listings. That could be showing time. That could be homes.com, realtor.com. That could be Facebook ad data reports. That could be market updates from Altos Research. And she can create a rule one time to forward any emails from this source to Beacon. And the beauty of that is that we will use AI we'll ingest the email into your Beacon inbox. We'll analyze the email to identify which listing it's related to, and then we'll automatically add that data and that information to your Beacon, which means that we can now log your showings, your showing feedback, your realtor.com data, your homes.com data. We can also pull down like data about the market, or if you I see these like really comprehensive Compass reports about where buyers are coming from. We can add all of that into Beacon. So this is going to be a massive, massive time saver. Number one. Number two, it's going to make you look good in front of your sellers, because every single data point that you could possibly imagine, social media, comps, tasks, and all this data that's kind of like scattered in your inbox can now just automatically flow into your Beacon, which makes these reports even that much more comprehensive and that much more compelling. So I am like, we've been getting a ton of feedback from our early users. They're loving the product. They want us to keep pushing for it. Beacon's inbox is going to make the product that much better. So for all my Beacon users, first off, thank you so much for being a part of our beta and using the product to be part of the early access. Your feedback has been amazing. We love it. We are not done. We are going to make this thing just truly extraordinary for you. It's going to be, I think, your favorite tool in your tool stack, if you will, your tech stack. I'm incredibly excited about that. All right. If you haven't created your account already, it's build. We have a question on that. It's buildyourbeacon.com. You're going to get a 14-day free trial. Go to the website right now, sign up, create your first beacon, and then send me a DM on Instagram and let me know how it goes. I'm going to stick around. We had a ton of questions. I'm going to go into overtime, spend the next 10 minutes answering questions. But hopefully today's session was really helpful for you guys. Execute the listing lead strategy. Make sure you put that into place, and then make sure that you're mapping all the things you're doing using Beacon. That's how these two tools can work really well together. I will send the recording, and I will send a link to the cheat sheet as well as ability to sign up for Beacon. Thank you, Montel. Appreciate that. We got a great team here, my friend. Okay. So, Roya, what a great question. So Roya's question, everyone can see this in the chat. Roya's question is, how do you present this to your seller at an appointment? So, I mean, Andrew, I would love, Andrew Himes, if you're still on the call, or anyone who's using Beacon, I would love for you guys to chime in here as well. Let me tell you how I would do it. Here's how I would do it. Roya, I would say, if I'm sitting at a listing appointment, I would say, hey, Roya, I've sold a lot of houses over my career. And the one thing I know to be true is that communication is critically important for my clients. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what's happening. They want to know about showings. They want to know about marketing. They want to know about like things we're doing to get their house sold. Has anybody, assuming this is a multiple agent competitive listing, has anybody walked you through their weekly communication plan? And at this point, Roya, they're going to say, like, no. Because what most agents will do, here's what we're going to do to sell your house. Here's all the marketing. Here's why I've sold 1,000 houses. I'm with this company. We have 100,000 agents. We're the best. No one talks about the next step. So I'm gonna frame that, Roya, in the sense that, hey, we are like, I work with a lot of people. This is really important to them. I'm assuming it's going to be important for you as well. They're going to say, then I'm asking, has anyone walked you through their weekly communication plan? No, they haven't. Next question is, would it be helpful for me to show you what that looks like? And of course, the answer will be yes. And what I'm doing at that point is I'm now going to pull up Beacon, and I'm going to pull up an example of a listing that I've sold or a listing that's on the market, and I'm going to literally walk them through. Okay, so each week, I prepare a comprehensive report for you that includes information about what's happening with your listing online, how many views it's getting, where it's being promoted. And then also, I'm going to walk you through all the different campaigns so you can see them, because I know, the way your home is presented online really does matter to you. Then we'll talk through what's happening with showings, open houses, any feedback we've been getting. And then finally, we'll talk about what's happening in the market to give you a full up-to-date live preview. So this report that I'm showing you right now is I prepare a brand new one for you with the most up-to-date information every week. You get it on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. You can count on it. But this is how we communicate through the entire process. Now, like, that's how I'm using it. You could just see here from this, like, this is so powerful because you can demonstrate to the consumer, like, hey, this is what's happening. Andrew Himes, I showed an active Beacon for a current listing, a listing appointment, and the seller's mind was blown. Exactly. Great question. Yeah, thank you, Greg. Everyone read Greg's comment right now in the chat. And so I just love that. Like, would it be helpful for me to deliver this to you every Monday at 2 p.m.? And now they know, and now they can begin to expect they're going to get something from you. I just absolutely love using beacons in the listing appointment. Great question. Yeah, Carlos, reach out to our support team. Carlos, and by the way, my phone number, I'm going to drop this in the chat right now. If anybody who's using Beacon has questions or wants to go a bit deeper on this, by all means, reach out to me. Let me know. Uh, so if you get stuck or have a question, that's my personal cell phone number. As you can tell, I'm pretty fanatical about this stuff, so we want to make sure it works great. Paige, what if I have multiple MLSs that I pull comps and data from? Great question. So we're going to automatically use like Redfin and Realtor and Zillow to grab the most relevant comps. And you have the ability, if you want, to adjust your comp settings. So in your comp settings, you can adjust it based on price and radius and like, is it in the same zip code? Do you want to include solds? I was talking to my friend Todd earlier this week. We have some updates coming in comp settings to make it a little bit more relevant. It's not actually going to be. It's not going to actually be related to the MLS. We're going to be able. We're using like AI to help find comps. To be clear, because the whole MLS thing is just all the complexity around that. Every listing that's available is public in most instances. So we have links to like we use real estate API. So we have some sold data there as well as what's publicly available. If you want to add a comp though, we'll do Valerie. If you want to add comps, you can click on add comp and you can just type in an address. So if we pulled out a bunch of comps and you want to also be able to add a new comp, you can do that as well. Yeah, Gus, I'm not sure what you mean by connect to your CRM in what capacity. That'd be really helpful. Dennis, can a broker provide this to their agents? Absolutely, Dennis. Dennis, let me know in the chat how many listings you have. Dennis, actually do me a favor, text me. You'll see my number there. It's 617-921-5263. Text me how many agents you have and how many listings you actively carry. And by the way, Valerie asked a question, or actually dropped a link to a Loom link. I know I'm not going to click on the link, Valerie. I know it's the wrong link, but I want to call something out. In our design settings, if you record a Loom video for your sellers, you can actually just drop that Loom link and it will show up at the top of the report. So Valerie, thanks for the reminder there. So if I drop in a Loom link, right, it will actually show up at the top of the report. So a lot of our clients like record a video about their beacon and they have it at the top. So, hey, Valerie, let me give you a quick rundown of what's happened this week. As you could see, we had a really successful launch. We have almost 1,000 views on Redfin, almost 700 views on Zillow, and on social media, we've been getting tons of activity. And by the way, when we look at the market, here's what's been happening. So what our clients are doing with Loom is they're literally just like going down and explain the beacon. And then that becomes the video that they embed on top of the report. Folks, how many of us in the chat like would rather send a video than make a phone call? Just say yes in the chat. Like, how many of us would rather send a video than make a phone call? Well, Darren Tackett, one of the top agents in Phoenix, he shared this with me. He carries a lot of listings, like 40 listings. He's like, Jimmy, I stopped calling my sellers and I started shooting these like 1 and 2 minute Loom videos. And he's like, I've had 0 listings expire or 0 cancellations. And they just love it. And so Darren uses the product and he embeds a Loom link at the top of the beacon that becomes part of what he sends out. So like that alone will make a huge difference. If you're not using Loom, a Loom integration, take full advantage of that. Yeah, Sheila, you can put off-market listings in there. Most of them are supported. Natalie was asking, can we filter out specific listings? So right now, Natalie, what you can do with this is you can actually we have a free search button right there. So you can come into social media and you could search your listing address and we'll grab anything related to that particular listing. So if I type in 63 Oakville, right, you'll see that it'll pull down whatever's related, whatever has like the number 63 Oakville in the description. So we'll grab that from the description or the caption. So, Sonia, we're working with Shannon Gillette, who I think you might know in Phoenix area, and Darren Tackett. Yeah, Glenn's asking, are you adding other social media channels? Yeah, we do plan on adding LinkedIn. Yeah, Ron's saying, hey, I've got 6 listings under contract. What should we do now to turn them into more? Ron, 1,000% execute the sort of like just sold show the sweat sales letter. Obviously, it's under contract, so you want to be able to like you don't want to say just sold, you say now it's under contract. But like every single one of those listings, I want one of those like Vanessa Riley just sold letters. That's going to create, I'm telling you right now, Ron, 10 to 15 appointments. If you do it for all 6 listings, 200 homes each, you are going to be filling that pipeline, my friend. Yeah, Maria, we will send the recording out as well. Yeah, Gus, I think you're probably overthinking it. Said with love and respect, my friend. Um, Gus, shoot me a text. I want to hear more about this. Yeah, Jason, I would 100%. Jason, can we use this to get expired or cancel listings? Jason, 100%. Because if you actually, as an example, let me share my screen again. If you, as an example, Jason, like sell a house, right? Let's say a 6 Lynn she sold. Well, let's say she got 6 Lynn from an expired listing. Well, I would take the beacon and I would create a personalized Loom video and say, hey, Jason, I saw that your home recently expired from the market. I understand your phone has probably been ringing off the hook because every agent's promising you they can get the deal done and get the home sold. I just want to give you some perspective because when a home doesn't sell, it's usually because of one of three things. Number one, the home wasn't priced properly. Number two, the home wasn't positioned properly. Or number three, the home just didn't get enough exposure. This is a home that was similar to yours in the sense that this home did not sell. This client called me. We got the home list in the market. Now I'm going to walk you through what we did differently. Here's all the things we did. Boom, 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 boom. Now, if your agent did everything on this list right now that I'm showing you, then my advice would be to lower your price because it's probably a pricing issue. But if you're seeing that, there are other things like this social media campaign or this email campaign or this like sales postcard that was missing from your listing and how your listing was marketed, well, then I'm happy to have a conversation to walk you through our strategy. Like that's how I'm using. I'm Jason. You got to get the. I'm riffing right now, right? Like you get kind of the general idea, but I'm showing the proof of what I did to get a home sold, and I'm using a Loom video, and then I might even send them a mailer with a QR code that they could scan. And if you want to do it at a mass level, you can do the same thing. So I can record one Loom video. I can send out that same Loom video to 70 expired listings every week. Totally fine. But in that video, I would just make it a little bit more generic. Instead of saying, "Hey, Jason," I'd say, "Hey, I sent you this letter because I got information that your home did not sell. I'm sure you got a lot of people reaching out to you. I'm sure your phone hasn't stopped ringing up the hook. I wanted to shoot a video for you to give you some perspective and hopefully be helpful in helping you achieve your outcome." That's more of the angle I would use. Great question. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, Vincent had a ton of questions. Vincent, I'm going to send you a link to our live training on this. That will help answer that. When it comes to mailing letters and postcards, I'm typically like my sweet spot is 100 to 200 homes because I want it to be personalized and relevant. Yeah, Kara, we work in the US only right now, not Canada, so we can work in any MLS. Yeah, Candace, great question. You can add. So Candace's question was around just adding in uh, like her flow desk emails. So Candace, when we roll out the Beacon inbox, you can just forward those emails right into Beacon. That's one option. Another option is you can log them as a task. So if I log in, I'll go ahead and log into my account real quick. And when I log in, if you want to add, this is actually like a low key, really powerful feature. If I click on tasks and I scroll down, I can click on add task and I can log in like, an email marketing campaign as an example. And I can include a screenshot of that email that I sent out. What happens after a listing? This will be the last question we answer today. What happens after a listing goes live under contract? What happens to the beacon for that listing? That's a awesome question, and I am very proud to say every single listing that you create a beacon for will be in your account forever. We don't charge you for it. So we have tiers based on active listings. If you sell a house or when you sell a house, that beacon is going to be part of your portfolio. And so that's why I want to get as many people using this product like now as soon as possible, because like you're going to have this incredible portfolio of everything you've done to sell every single listing. Like you guys do so much amazing work. You do all this marketing, you do all this activity, you do all this research for your customers, but like you wouldn't know it. It's all over the place. It's in Canva, it's in High Note, it's in your email, it's on someone's computer. Beacon is the hub for everything you do to get your home sold. And we do not charge you any money when a home is sold or a home goes under contract. It's only for your active listings. What a great question. On that note, thank you guys so much for being part of today's session. Be sure to check out buildyourbeacon.com. And of course, if you're not using listingleads.com, you know where to find us, listingleads.com. We got a bunch of people who are using that product and loving it as well. Thank you guys for being part of today's session. This was a lot of fun. I hope you got value out of it. And I'm serious, if you got questions, reach out to me directly or our support team at buildyourbeacon.com. We're happy to support you guys. We will get the recording out, and we will get all the show notes from today's session. I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and thanks again for being a part of today's training.